What's up everyone, this is Cloud Chief, and in today's video I am going over Basalt Fields Delve. The veil for this delve is in I-5 and the closest BIV to it is BIV 2. Basically you go here and you should be going a little bit northeast and you will find it's near a tree. This is arguably the easiest delve out of all of them, so yeah, let's get into it. As for the map, you're pretty much going to be going south, but when you first enter, you might want to head a little northeast, and it'll open up in a big tunnel, because chances are there's one of the first NMs are in there. From there, you're going to pretty much just kind of head south. You're going to zigzag east and west, but the map's pretty much going to be taking you south until you hit the boss. First NM I'm going to touch on is Volatile Mana. I think that's how it's pronounced. And he's pretty straightforward. The only thing is, his little gimmick is, whether you're doing physical or magical damage, whatever you do the most of between TP moves, after his next TP move, he'll take half that type of damage and double the other type of damage. So basically you want to just be switching between physical and magical damage back and forth. Next NM that I'll touch on is Perdurable Raptor. And really the gimmick with him is don't do magic damage to him. I mean, you can do magic damage to him, but if you do magic damage, it's going to increase his attack speed and he'll actually get like triple attack. So just avoiding from doing any type of magical damage and sticking to physical damage will make it easy. He also does Foul Breath, and below 50% Foul Breath is replaced with Whirling Inferno. And he does that every 45 seconds. So we'll do that at 45-second intervals regardless of TP. But it's just a breath type move, and it's not really a big deal, especially at this point with increased gear. So just stick to physical damage, and you should be able to blow through this guy. The next NM is Shimmering Terry. I'm guessing I'm saying that right, not sure. There's not really much to say about this guy, although when he gets below 40%, he will gain a poison aura that's 100 HP per tick. And then when he gets below 25%, he gains basically instacast for all his spells. And that's really all there is to say about him. He doesn't really do much else besides, FTP moves. He's pretty easy as long as you have a healer that's able to cure through the poison aura, but they should be going down fast enough that you shouldn't be taking more than 4 or 5 ticks. So it's, again, not that big of a deal. So the next NM is a Pest-MM, and I'm sure I'm going to get the pronunciation on this wrong. It's Toot Welly. Like I said, I'm not going to pronounce that right. Anyway, there's not really much with him. It's kind of like any other, Pest-MM. There's not really much of a gimmick. He does have, Grim Glower, which is where his eyes will start glowing, and if you look into his eyes, if you're looking at him and he's facing you, you will be petrified. Below 50%, Grim Glower is replaced with Oppressive Glare, and instead of petrifying, it terrorizes you and gives you zombie. So with zombie effect, any cures that you receive will actually damage you. So you can avoid this by sticking blind, and also obviously mages can just face away and it's not really that big of a deal. If you're doing this with multiple people and you have like a strong paladin tank that can keep hate, just backwards tanking is a good recommended way to handle this, and then just have your melees go and beat on it. And lastly, we go up to Kerma, and this NM, he pretty much, you want to do magic damage to him. By doing magic damage to him, it actually lowers his damage taken, so he will actually just start taking more damage across the board. He is a turtle, so he has high defense, and he'll use TP moves that'll boost his physical defense. You can physically damage him. He also has decent evasion, but like I said, by doing magic damage to him, it'll just increase the damage taken he takes from all damage types. So just being able to do damage, especially if you're doing low tier nukes, should quickly push up the multiplier, so he's just taking more damage and you can just blow through him. He's pretty easy like most turtles. So now let's go into the boss Tojo. And this guy, he has a couple little gimmicks, but he's arguably the easiest boss. You can pretty much just burn through him. However, he does change, what damage types will do the best damage to him. So let's go through that now. From 100 to 75%, he actually takes less physical damage. From 75 to 50%, he takes increased piercing damage. From 50 to 25%, he takes increased slashing damage. And then less than 25%, he takes increased blunt damage. I'm just going to go through all his abilities, and then I'll go through and talk about, what abilities at different times. Cyclastic Surge does fire damage and inflicts Addle. Batholithic Shell gives him Blaze Spikes, Stone Skin, increased attack, increased magic attack, and haste. Volcanic Stasis does damage and stuns, and it also full dispels, and it's magic damage. Tyrannical Blow does fire damage, and it causes plague. Searing Serration does just physical damage. It's a multi-hit, so if you have shadows, it'll shred shadows, and it gives all your attributes down. Blistering Roar, it does fire damage. It tears, and he gains a physical and magical defensive boost. Incendiating Lamar, which does physical damage. It also knocks you back, and it also inflicts weakness for like 10 to 15 seconds, which can be annoying and can potentially be one of the most threatening things of this, because dropping your total HP, and then if you get hit with something else really quick, you could potentially go down. So when you first pull Tojo, he's going to do Blistering Roar. He'll also do Blistering Roar at 75, 50, and 25%. Regardless whether his aura is up, he will do Sarcastic Surge and Batholithic Shell. He will do Incendiaring Lahar if his aura is active above 50%. If it's below 50%, he can do it regardless. And then if he doesn't have his aura active, he can do Searing Sensation, Tyrannical Blow, and Volcanic Stasis. Basically, the spells he casts, if his aura is active, it'll essentially be, for the most part, like a tier higher. Like, example, he would cast Thunder 3 if it wasn't active, and if it was active, he would cast Thunder 4 instead of Thunder 3, or Break Gun instead of Break. And the last thing to touch on is the easiest way to drop his aura, and that's typically done through elemental damage. So essentially, it's, doing tier 2 skill chains are good. So from like 100% to 75 fragmentation, 75 to 50 gravitation, 50 to 25 fusion, and 25% distortion would work really well for dropping his aura. And that's pretty much it for Tojo. While that's a lot of information, and I know it can seem overwhelming, he's honestly the easiest boss. The only thing you really need to worry about is getting weakness. You just need to make sure you're, able to handle weakness if he does Incendiaring Lamar. Because besides that, at this point with our gear, it's pretty easy. Even if you are a new 119 job, you really shouldn't have too many issues doing this. And that's it for this delve. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for, checking out my videos, and may you have success in all you do.